Okay, this video is going to show you how to use the Research Brainstorm Note-Taking Doc since you've never had my class. What you're going to do first is go to period 2, click on this document where it says attach submit both essays, and then you're going to scroll to the bottom and you're going to make a copy of this document right here that you see where it says Research Brainstorm and Note-Taking Doc, which looks like this. Once you make a copy, go ahead and put your name on it, ignore the period. I'm going to assign you the topic of teen drug abuse. So in this area right here, you're going to go ahead and write teen drug abuse, etc. Ms. Garcia should have also told you the topic of each paragraph. The first one being general information. For example, statistics, definition of, warning signs, anything general like that would go in that paragraph. The second paragraph is going to be risk factors, causes. The third paragraph will be effects / impact. And when you're thinking about that, that's physical, mental, education, relationships, and family. And the last one's going to go ahead and be treatment, prevention. So what you'll do after you do that is you're going to go ahead and brainstorm 6 research questions minimum, like the directions tell you up there. And then once you're done with that, you can go ahead and start finding sources. You need 4 total because it's a research essay. So the first thing that I did is I just typed in teen drug abuse. I found a couple of sources and I clicked on one. You need 4, but I'm just going to show you one. I clicked on one that seemed reliable. It was Mayo Clinic. When I click on it, you'll see that it gives you information for 3 of your paragraphs. Number 1, risk factors and reasons why teens misuse drugs. It gives you information for body paragraph 3 about effects and consequences of teen drug abuse, and it gives you information about paragraph 4, which is treatment and prevention options and strategies. So you will use this source to get information for all of them. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. When you go to your research doc and you scroll down, well, actually, I'm going to copy and paste the information. So I put it right here under source number 1. You can fill in the title info later if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Usually the title's at the beginning. So this one's Teen Drug Abuse, Help Your Teen Avoid Drugs. Help your teen avoid drugs. And the organization, like I said, is normally at the very top left, and this is Mayo Clinic. All right, now that you have that, I want you to notice that this is source number 1, right? So anytime you copy and paste information from that source in this area, you will put number 1. When you get to your second source or article, if it's number 2 and you copy and paste information from that one, then you'll put number 2. But for now, several of these are going to be number 1. So this article, if we look at it, it talks about why teens use drugs, and then it gives you risk factors, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and read through it, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste the information that it gives me, because remember paragraph 2 is about risk factors and causes, so reasons why, right? So I copy pasted that. My next job is to read through it and go ahead and put this in my own words. So if you look here, I'm saying there are a multitude of reasons why teenagers abuse drugs, including blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do the whole thing for you. So when you look at it, I'm explaining this part, right? And then if you see, there's a second passage here, so that's why I added a second bullet point. And then you'll just go ahead and explain this passage in this area. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the article, and I'm looking here and I'm like, oh, this gives me a list of common risk factors. So again, Control C, it's still part of this paragraph because this is paragraph 2, source 1, and then again, I will go ahead and put it in my own words in about a sentence. You don't need to put all these bullet points. You can say something like, some commonly known risk factors are, and then you can just literally list them like you see I'm doing, here. If it's a scientific or medical term, like you see here, ADHD, you can't put that in your own words. You literally just write that word. All right, so when you get to this portion right here, what I want you to, actually, let's do that for another paragraph. Okay, so paragraph 3 was effects, right? So if you look down here, it talks about consequences of teen drug abuse, and then it has health effects. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this whole thing right here. And I'm going to paste it here. Again, it's still source number 1. And then I'm going to put in my own words, right? So that's that. Now in paragraph 4, this is impact/effects. I'm going back here. And then if you see it says here talking about teen drug abuse. So here's what I want you to see that's a little different. Let's say you look at a passage and you're like, you know what? I don't necessarily want to put that in my own words. I think that this is strong enough that I want it to be the citation for my body paragraph. So what you're going to do is, because this is about effects, and you see this is body paragraph 4 citation, every body paragraph needs to have one of these. It's textual evidence that's not in your own words. So you see right here where it says copy the passage here, you're going to go ahead and replace that with the passage. Then you're going to go ahead and type in the author and the title. So if you look where it says author, we know it was Mayo Clinic. And then go ahead and put the title. I forgot what the title is, but you go ahead and plug in the title. And last but not least, you'll go ahead and explain it down here. But if I were you, I would just put the explanation here. So in other words, I chose that sentence starter, if you see it here. And then blah, 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 blah. Go ahead and write it down. Once you do this and you've gotten all the information that you could possibly get from this article, or that you actually need from this article or this source, then you'll go ahead and go back to the options, click on a different one, and repeat the process. So that by the end of this, your whole document is completely filled out. You want to have at least 6 of these filled out minimum, because you want at least 6 details in each of your body paragraphs plus a citation. Once you go from there, then what I want you to do is I want you to go to Google Classroom, and you will click on this video right here where it says April 3rd, 2019, and go ahead and watch it. And it will take you through the final steps of the essay. After that, then you'll submit both documents to this area right here, and then I'll grade it and you'll be good to go. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.